Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Ed back on the Insomniac Drive-In. I hope your Saturday is off to a great start. It is a gorgeous spring-like day here in upstate New York. So I hope to maybe get outside later and enjoy that. But I hope you also enjoyed our Creature Feature Friday last night. Had a lot of fun watching those movies with you, and we will be doing that again each and every Friday night. Doing a little cleaning up and organizing up here, as you can see over my shoulder right there. There it is. Got the spinner rack all filled up with comic books and magazines and all kinds of goodies. But today, since it is Saturday, I figured it would be really good to talk about cartoons. Saturday morning cartoons were a staple of my mornings growing up. Um, and we are going to do, I don't want to call it a mini series. If you remember, like TV or even comic books, a miniseries would be a multi-night event, maybe 2 nights. And in comic books, a miniseries would maybe be 4 issues, 3 issues back in the day, Marvel's Wolverine and all that kind of stuff. But then DC came out with Crisis on Infinite Earths. They debuted the Maxi series, and I think this is more of a Maxi series. It's going to be a longer series, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to take the Saturday morning lineups of each year starting in 1973 and go up till the demise of Saturday morning cartoons, and that's probably around, oh God, I don't know, 1990 maybe? I don't remember. I had stopped watching by then because they weren't really doing a whole lot of cartoons on Saturday mornings. But today, for like the premiere episode, to get us to 1973, we have to talk about the cartoons that got us there, that started it all out. And I made a handy dandy list of some that I wanted to mention. And it was around 1957 that the two networks, NBC and ABC, or was it NBC and CBS? I think NBC and CBS were the original two stations, and they started doing some programs on Saturday mornings geared towards kids. A few of the years later, ABC would come along, and then years and years later, what would end up being like Fox would enter the fray. But gosh, the early Saturday morning stuff that I remember, now being in 1973, obviously I didn't watch any of this stuff new, but through syndication, I remember WPIX Channel 11 out of New York City. They used to air a lot of this stuff on the weekday mornings and Sundays. The USA Cartoon Express had a ton of this stuff. And then one of my absolute favorites, Hanna-Barbera's Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera and the Super Adventure Hour, which had all the superhero stuff that I'm going to mention some of here. So, Captain Kangaroo, he was right there at the beginning in 1957. Mr. Green Jeans, I used to watch him uh, maybe on the weekday mornings when I was a kid. I remember watching like the tail end of his run on television, and he was always there to be a friend for everybody on the mornings, kind of like I'm trying to do with you. I'm always going to be your friend. We also had Mighty Mouse Playhouse. That was on originally. I loved Mighty Mouse, Heckle and Jekyll. Good stuff right there. Top Cat came along, and my daughter was a huge Top Cat fan. She was tiny, and she'd go, Top Cat, Top Cat, and she'd want to watch Top Cat, so we'd throw that on for her. Of course, it was early on Saturday mornings and continued right up through my watching was Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes, of course. Many different versions of that originally. I know Porky Pig had his own show, and of course the Bugs Bunny half hour, and soon enough the Looney Tunes show would be a part of Saturday mornings. The Alvin Show, which was a really early version of Alvin and the Chipmunks, one of my favorites. And actually, I can't say that I've seen a lot of the Alvin Show, but I've seen a couple of scattered, little things here and there. The Jetsons were a part of that early set of stuff. I'm just kind of going through the list. that I saw that I remember watching and enjoying. Tennessee Tuxedo and his tales was always cool. I thought he was one of the coolest characters back in the day. All those cartoons with him and the I don't can't remember the name of the walrus, but I know he had a walrus sidekick and a whole bunch of them. Um, you know what? There is no need to fear. Underdog is here. Underdog and me had a very good relationship. If you talk to my mom, she can tell you I used to jump around the house with a with a kitchen dish towel tied around my neck, jumping into rooms saying there's no need to fear, underdog is here, and I still do that every once in a while. You just have to ask my wife. Magilla Gorilla, he was a great cartoon, a predecessor to Great Ape to me, but Magilla Gorilla. I remember watching, I think, weekday afternoons, Magilla Gorilla used to be on. Tom and Jerry, of course, showed up on Saturday mornings, and they were more of a weekday afternoon thing for me. They were part of WPIX's weekend lineup for a long time when I was a young lad, as they say. And then we got there. Hanna-Barbera started doing some proto superheroes with the likes of Adam Ant and Secret Squirrel. Fantastic stuff there, but still animals. We weren't quite there yet, but it was going to happen soon enough. Apparently, there was a King Kong cartoon, which I don't remember, and I don't know the year. I want to say 65, 1965. Maybe some of you older watchers out there remember that one, and you can tell me about that one because I honestly I haven't seen any of it, and I don't really remember it. But I think it's cool that King Kong was on Saturday morning. Reminds me of a large green lizard that we will get to at some point, and then we're there. We are at the Hanna-Barbera superheroes, and these, even though I wasn't around, to me, these are some of the golden age of superhero cartoons. You had Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles. You had Space Ghost and Dino Boy, the Fantastic Four, Spider Man, Herculoids, Samson and Goliath. What the heck is that? Samson and Goliath, Birdman and the Galaxy Trio. I mean, the list of the Hanna-Barbera superhero stuff is just, it's crazy. And it was all packaged together in something called Hanna-Barbera Super Adventure, which I saw on Sunday mornings, I think, when I was a kid. They used to have it on all the time. And gosh, if you can look up the intro to that, it is just, um, it's awesome. It has everything in it that I loved about the 60s superhero cartoons. We got to the Banana Splits, which I can't tell you how much joy they would bring me. I remember them being on really early later, in the late 70s. That was like early, like I don't know, before the regular day of cartoons would start. Some of the stations would have that on. Uh, Scooby Doo, where are you? We're getting close to like 1969 now, and I'm not going to say a lot about Scooby Doo right now because Scooby really deserves his own episode, and just because there's so much to talk about over the years. But this was where he started, and God, another just love of mine is Scooby Doo. I just love anything that has to do with Scooby Doo. The movies, the direct to videos. Scooby Doo is just awesome to me, and I will watch any version, pretty much, of Scooby Doo that's out there. HR Puffin Stuff was on. Sorry, allergies today. I've been cleaning up. HR Puffin Stuff. Sid and Marty Krofft, man, they were on one huge heck of an acid trip, but I was there for all of it because I love anything that has to do with them, and HR Puffin stuff and the Croft stuff. I think we'll probably give them end up having their own episode down the road too. But if you are a fan of Sid and Marty Krofft, you need to check out Tubi on the Roku app or wherever you watch your apps, because they recently added everything, pretty much stuff from HR Puffin stuff up to the Bray City Rollers show in 1978. The only thing I didn't see on there really, I didn't see, was Land of the Lost and Sigmund and the Sea Monster. Um, but Lidsville and the Bugaloos and all of those great trippy Sid and Marty Krofft stuff is out there on Tubi. I was watching some Krofft Super Show the other night with some favorites, but we'll get to them when we get into the 70s, and I think we'll probably give them their own episode of this, just because, the reach of their stuff to me was pretty huge. We're almost up to 1973. After Scooby-Doo hit it big, there was a whole bunch of copycat kind of cartoons, the Funky Phantom, and then well into the 70s, we got a ton of them. But one of the better ones, and I think they kind of, they maybe started out as a copy, but I think they really held their own, was Josie and the Pussycats. That was some really good stuff. I like that version, but really my favorite version of that was Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space. I actually have all of them on Prime Video. And I used to watch them getting ready for school back in the day when you were getting ready and waiting for the bus, and it was like the last cartoon I'd pop on in the morning before heading out. Well, I didn't pop it on, but it was on. The Hair Bear Bunch, it was great stuff. They were always trying to sneak out of the zoo, or they did sneak out of the zoo. Um, good stuff. I can't not forget to mention all of the other like Hanna-Barbera animals like Huckleberry Hound and Yogi Bear and Augie Doggy and all them. I didn't really watch a lot of their early stuff. I like a lot of the later versions, like Yogi when he had the space race, or he had that flying arc. I thought those were really fun. And I think it had to do a lot because Marvel had a deal with Hanna-Barbera at the time, and they were doing a lot of big crossover stuff that featured all of the Hanna-Barbera characters. And I think that really is where I like to see them all when they're all together doing stuff together. That's always a good time. Pebbles and Bam Bam. I love the Flintstones, but I really had a soft spot for Pebbles and Bam Bam. I liked the band that they had together. I thought it was cool that they had them grown up a little bit older. So that was a fun one. What else we got here? Oh, only two more. We have Sea Lab 2020, which I used to watch on the USA Cartoon Network. I thought that one was pretty good. Of course, they remade it later for Adult Swim, I think, and that's pretty good. The original is kind of neat. And last, the Roman Holidays, which is kind of an obscure one, but I remember watching it on the USA Cartoon Express too, which was fabulous because they played a lot of 60s and 70s cartoons that were, you thought, long gone, but they showed up anyway. So that's just some of the stuff that aired pre 1973, pre Ed and pre Insomniac Drive-In, but it's all under that tree of love that we have. You gotta love the cartoons. What do you remember from like that early, late 50s, 60s, real early 70s frame that just really you loved? What was your golden era of Saturday morning cartoons? Mine is, we're going to get into now, because the 70s, man, there was some crazy stuff, but it was the golden age before, the commercialization happened in the 80s and everything kind of just went down real quick. But we'll get to all that as we talk Toons here on the Insomniac Drive-In. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys loved about Saturday morning cartoons. What were your favorites? What you didn't like? And we'll mention them here next time. You guys have a good one. I don't know if there's going to be another video today. I doubt it. But tomorrow we may, we're going to talk about live action superhero shows, I believe. And if we get any updates on eBay stuff that's coming in, we'll have that here too. But otherwise, you have yourself a good weekend. Look at that sun. I don't mean to blind you, but look at it. It's the safe way to look at it because, you know. Yeah. Anyway, have a good Saturday. Get outside and enjoy it. Yeah. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.